Okay, so chat, I've got something interesting here for you. It is the first large public patch for Deadlock since the NDA has been lifted last week and everyone was able to start streaming and playing. And I'm gonna just go through it and read it all to you. I'm not gonna really give many opinions unless it's something that I feel like I'm qualified to talk about, because I'm still not that good at the game yet. But to give you an idea, it is kind of a lot. That also might be part of it, not giving too many opinions, just that way I can actually get through the whole patch notes. So let's get started. First up, we'll be starting with general changes. Added a new profile page that displays a breakdown of recent matches and all-time player hero statistics. Note, the newly added stats, souls collected and healing, are starting at 0 for all players. Makes sense. Added a report button to escape menu player list to allow reporting of teammates in game. Yeah, if you didn't know, the only way to do it before this was reporting in the Discord. So if you weren't in the Discord, tough shit. Improved visibility of reports. Report button on post game screen. You can now drag and drop items between categories and builds. Added search to the public build list. You can search by keyword builds within names. So currently you couldn't do that. You had to like just keep spamming refresh to try to find what you were looking for if it was like a specific person, so that's good. Newly published hero builds now store the language of the build. Added show all languages checkbox in public builds list can be unchecked to only see the builds in your language. Fixed issue with builds list not updating when changing between heroes and sandbox. Added localization support for German, Polish, and Korean. That's good. Matchmaking window is now open 1 hour earlier on weekends and weekdays. Huge. Okay, so if you didn't know, NA servers go up at 5 p.m. EST every day, and then they close at like, 3 a.m. EST? So now that means it will be at 4 p.m. EST, which is good. EU, I'm assuming, is also going to open an hour earlier. I don't know what time that is, though. And then on weekends, I believe it opened up at 3 p.m. EST. So it would then become 2 p.m. EST. So Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, it'll be even earlier, which is cool. Players can only pause once per game. Oh god, the no pixel fucking TikTok. A team can only pause at most 3 times in the total amongst all players. The game application now flashes when the game is unpaused. That's good. Various client and server performance improvements. Added streamer settings to options panel causes player names and game's UI panels to be hidden. Yeah, I've already gotten noticed a ridiculous amount of times. So, can I just say, it took them a single fucking patch to add a streamer mode. It took Overwatch 7 years. 7 fucking years of asking them to add a streamer mode for them to finally add it, and it didn't. We're gonna move on. We're not gonna relate to this. We're gonna keep moving. Added a melee trainer bot to the gym area of the hero sandbox. Oh, look at that. Training range improvements. Nope, we're gonna keep moving. Added new game out of date status message at the top of the HUD, so you can quickly know when there is an update rather than finding out at the queue time. Good change, because they make a lot of updates as the day goes on. So a lot of times, like mid-session, your game may be out of date 2, 3, 4 times. So good change. Added a checkbox on the post-game survey to make it not show again in the future. Items now show their spirit power impact when using Alt. Fixed profile match history, not remembering the history page you were on. Added heal amp and debuff resist to the vitality stats in the shop. Hero details on the dashboard now show spirit information with Alt rather than requiring you to be in-game. This was added in a hotfix patch recently. The game will now prevent any quick ability upgrades for 2 seconds after death to help prevent accidental upgrades. Okay, understandable. Sometimes you click too fast and you end up putting something in the wrong skill tree. Can now reliably spectate a friend's game via the friends list. Major W change right there. Miscellaneous fixes to friends and party menus. Added unavailable state to zipline UI when zipline is on damage cooldown. That's good, because this was hard to see sometimes. Very good changes. Spectating controls now use left-right mouse buttons to switch between players on a team and space to switch teams. This now works with free cursor mode and can click on portraits / minimap to spectate individual heroes. So basically at the top of the list, there's everybody that's in the game. If you want to watch a particular person, you just click on their name now. That's great because you can watch actually in the tab high MMR matches. That watch tab is the top 4 games that are going. So if you want to go watch really good players, and then let's say someone's playing Mo and Krill and you want to watch the Mo and Krill player, you don't have to click through a million times. You can just click on it right away. Good change. Added new respawn countdown music 5 seconds before respawn. Added alternate shop music when plays in the neutral shop. Spectator count is now shown in-game. Ooh, you get to know how many people are watching you. That's cool. Player names are now shown to spectators. Added object motion blur. Optimized performance of distance ambient occlusion. Fix an item not removing charges correctly. You can't buy extra charge and immediately sell it to keep the ready charge. Wait, what? Fix selling an item not removing charges correctly. Now you can't buy extra charge and immediately sell it to keep the ready charge. Oh, so that's just probably an exploit with an item. The ready charge item or the extra charge item. Fix some tooltips not showing golden statue bonuses if it wasn't the direct stat, i.e. you got fire rate, but bullets per second didn't show the golden statue. Fix sharpshooter showing up in stats for bullet velocity, even though it doesn't increase your bullet velocity. Fixed a bug that caused items in the build page to not be dimmed when the shop was out of range. Fixed a bug with Lash not hearing his own ground strike impact explosion sound. Added new effects for Withering Whip. Updated ethereal shift effects. Fixed the disarmer spinner not showing up on your crosshair when you get disarmed. Sorry, the disarmed spinner. My bad. That's good. Sometimes it was hard to tell if you got disarmed. Fix part of Shiv's coat being considered a headshot. Build list will now refresh if you change heroes in the sandbox. Fix zipline speed from base guardian killing and zip booster ability not stacking properly. Fixed base guardian boost not properly doing its ramp up and instead instantly being fast. Added custom effects for Abrams seismic impact tier 3 buff. Fixed a bug where someone could be holding down mouse 1 and still be attacking when the magic carpet arrives. Updated Lash's grapple cast sound. Added decay impact sound. Removed wind and city ambient looping sounds. Volume and playback tweaks to one-shot ambient sounds. Remove vent sounds in places where vents have been removed. Fix some spectator music bugs. Updated negative feedback sound for clarity. Added hit confirm audio functionality for Warden's alchemical flask. Updated majestic leap sound. Updated bounce pad sound. Improved some binding word effects to be less noisy. Increased charge. I'm just going to finish it because we're almost done. Increased charge melee volume and fall off for victims. Reduced likelihood of irrelevant announcer and hero dialogue playing during combat exchanges. Improved clarity of Dynamo's singularity sound for team and opponents. Updated viscous primary fire sound. Soul jar return effect, tinted red like minimap to make it clear it's in return location. Player's low health screen effect more visible for longer if you're below 20% of your maximum HP. Teleporter model and effects updated. Updated alchemical flask projectile effect. Fixed Bebop being able to sprint while his gun is spun up. Added new voice content for Seven and Lash. Added shadow weave cast and ambient ambush sounds. Fixed bullets hitting the world immediately when looking sharply upward. Fixed Sinner's Sacrifice not always correctly animating. Fixed an issue where some kill lines were only intended for the killer. We're playing for the victim as well. Killstreak taunts still play for everyone. Some heroes can now comment on being alone in enemy territory, losing sight of an injured enemy, or leaving their teammates alone in a lane. Fixed a bunch of minor typo/grammar errors in various texts, and added express state to zipline indicators when speed has increased from defeating enemy base guardians. Wow, that was a lot of basic changes. Moving on to miscellaneous gameplay. Added wall jumping. What? Added wall jumping does not consume stamina, requires input direction away from the wall, can be done once. Moved a flex slot from set of enemy base guardians to all enemy lane guardians. What? Moved a flex slot from set of base guardian or enemy base guardians to all enemy lane guardians. Oh my god. Added ropes to some buildings to let you climb up. Hold jump key to latch onto them. Can shoot while hanging on them. Holy shit, these are massive changes. All right, let me see. This is what wall jumping looks like. No, this is ropes. What? That's awesome. So now there's ropes that you can climb around the map. And yes, I'm assuming this means that you'll be getting, sorry, this one right here means from set of enemy base guardians to all enemy lane guardians. Probably means you're gonna get, as long as you're killing the enemy guardians, like the first towers, you'll be probably getting flex slots sooner, I believe. A pair of teleporters have been added to the outer lanes in the midpoint near the 3 red neutral creeps. 4 teleporters have changed locations. The upper floor teleporters have moved to the street level. The interior teleporters have moved to the bodega building and the theater. Teleporters are closed for the first 10 minutes. They look visually closed. So these are the new locations for teleporters right here. I can't zoom in anymore. Hang on. Open image in another tab. So teleporter number 1. And it's right here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Teleporter number 2 over here on the left side of the map. Teleporter number... Wait. Wait. Okay, hang on. Well, this is... Hold up. This is... I made this probably more confusing than it should be. So this teleporter links to this teleporter. So these are both teleporter 1. So one's over here on the left side of the map. The other one's on... This one's on the right side of the map. This one's on the left side of the map. Okay. Sorry. I made that way more complicated than it needed to be. The second set of teleporters, which are labeled 4, but it's another set right here. Far left side of the map where the tier 3 creeps or tier 3 jungle is, there's a teleporter. And that links directly across the map to the opposite side teleporter to the other tier 3 jungle. So directly cross map teleporter. And then there's another set, the third set right here. I don't think they have the second set pictured. No, so second set isn't pictured, but it is right here in the middle if you want to look at the map. And then third set goes from here to the left side again, bottom left-hand corner to bottom right-hand corner. Wait, isn't that the same as these? Are these not the same? Dude, this is more good. Just look at the middle map, I guess. 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3. There you go. Okay, I know why it was confusing because they swapped sides, I think. So like 3, it's bottom left to bottom right, and then up here it's bottom right to bottom or left side. But it's like they just swapped the side of the map that they're on. So yeah, that's why it looks confusing in the screenshot. I could probably end up getting a better look when I actually get into the game. Guardians no longer give 1 AP. AP is now added to the following souls levels: 3,500, 5,200, 8,000, 9,700. Parry cooldown reduced from 6 seconds to 5 seconds. Earn delivery sprint bonus is increased from +2 to +3. Walker mid-range to attack increased from 30 to 32 meters. Golden statues drop rate increased by 6%. Yeah, also, yeah, this parry cooldown nerf is actually a huge Abrams nerf, for sure. How do I know that? That's the one person I've been playing. Replace some bounce pads with ropes if the purpose was to go straight up. Added 2 bounce pads next to the side lane walkers at Cultural Center and Courthouse. Added bounce pads from the amber, orange / sapphire blue walker walkway to the low roofs towards the walker. So Basically, in front of this blue walker here, there was a bridge that you can fight on. There appears to be a balance pad now there that will take you to the roof. So yeah, each side seems to have them. Removed some rooftop zap volumes that damage players. That. Several buildings have been made taller to make their rooftops out of bounds. Several buildings have been made shorter to make them more accessible. So these ones look like they've been made shorter, potentially? New valid roof location, so a couple shorter buildings in there. A few of the buildings have new passageways at higher floors that are along the way to rooftops. Okay, let's see what the video. Oh, they added little cubbies. Oh, interesting. Wow, this patch is crazy. There's so many map changes. Breakable containers have been added to the new playable roofs. Juke closets have replaced the previous location of the upper floor teleporters. The half of the underground tunnel towards the outer lanes has been made wider. Tunnel walls now have the color of the lane that the exit is close to. Remove the archway leading to the underground shop. Placed temporary signage for interior buildings and storefronts for future reference. 2 upper floor juke spots have been converted to passages through buildings. Added a new upper floor juke spot to each side. Stairwell from amber/orange or amber-orange to sapphire blue walker catwalk to the courtyard, now less cramped. Lowered the statue pedestals to the inner lanes outside of mid. Weapon items. So these are the items in the shop that have gotten changes in the weapons category. Monster rounds, bullet resistance versus NPC increase from 30 to 35. Hollow point rounds, spirit shield increase from 80 to 85. Restorative shot heal for heroes increase from 30 to 35. High velocity mag, bullet velocity reduced from 35% to 30%, now has an upgrade. So small nerf, but you can upgrade it later. Active reload lifesteal reduced from 30 to 22%. Active reload buff duration reduced from 8 seconds to 7 seconds. Kinetic dash, active fire rate reduced from 30 to 25%. Long range now grants plus 90 bullet shield. Melee charge now grants plus 1 HP regen. Swift striker now grants plus 10% ammo. Titanic magazine, bullet armor increase from 10% to 15%. Toxic bullets heal reduction increase from negative 55% to negative 65%, so it's a buff in how much damage reduction it does. Toxic bullet bleed damage reduced though, so a nerf from 6% to 5%. Toxic bullet now grants plus 100 health. Intensifying magazine now steadily ramps back down to 0% when you stop shooting rather than instantly emptying. Warpstone, active bullet resistance reduced from 40% to 30%. Sharpshooter now grants plus 175 bullet shield. Sharpshooter no longer provides bonus headshot damage. Sharpshooter, weapon damage increased from 60 to 70%. Burst fire, active duration increased from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Escalating resilience, max bullet resist increased from 36% to 40%. Alchemical fire, cooldown reduced from 28 seconds to 26 seconds. Heroic aura, active duration increased from 5 seconds to 6 seconds. Added new tier 3 weapon items, which are Headhunter, requires high velocity mag, so that's the upgrade that we talked about here earlier. Grants plus 50% bullet velocity, plus 15% weapon damage, and plus 150 bullet shield. Passive cooldown, landing a headshot on heroes deals a bonus 140 damage, heals you for 8% of your maximum HP, and grants plus 2 meters per second, so movement speed, for 3 seconds. Cooldown is every 6 seconds. Siphon bullets, weapon damage reduced from 40% to 28%, so massive nerf to siphon bullets. Frenzy, ammo increase from +9 to +12. Lucky Shot proc chance increase from 30 to 35%. Ricochet bounce damage increase from 50 to 60%. And Ricochet fixed not applying spirit bonus damage from Vindicta and Wraith abilities. Onto vitality items in the shop. Melee lifesteal effectiveness versus non-heroes increased from 35 to 40%. Healing Rites cooldown reduced from 65 seconds to 60 seconds. Divine Barrier no longer grants +7% bullet resist. Divine Barrier no longer grants +1.5 health regen. Divine Barrier now grants +1 sprint. It now grants +75 health. And it now grants +8% ability range. Combat Barrier now also grants +8% fire rate while active. Enchanter's Barrier now also grants +8% cooldown reduction while active. Reactive Barrier duration reduced from 13 seconds to 9 seconds. Healing Booster now has 15% heal reduction resist. Leech no longer has it. Oh, interesting. Healing Booster no longer has +6% healing resist. You know what I'm realizing through this? Is I was starting to have a good idea on how to use the abilities and how to use the shop, and I was thinking about making my first ever build on my own. Nope, that idea just left the building. Superior Stamina. Air jump / dash distance reduced from +40% to +30%. Metal Skin cooldown reduced from 25 seconds to 22 seconds. Rescue Beam channel duration reduced from 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Life Strike effectiveness versus non-heroes increased 35% to 40%. Fortitude damage taken during threshold reduced from 12 seconds to 11 seconds. Veilwalker cooldown reduced from 18 seconds to 17 seconds. Majestic Leap cooldown reduced from 26 seconds to 24 seconds. Leech no longer has a 30% heal reduction resistance. Unstoppable can now be cast while channeling. Unstoppable cooldown reduced from 65 seconds to 60 seconds. Soul Rebirth cooldown reduction increased from 15% to 18%. Soul Rebirth now grants +12 spirit. Soul Rebirth also fixed being able to purchase globally during its brief respawn period, and fix the camera moving away from the player if you will respawn rather than following the ragdoll. Colossus slow increase from 25% to 35%. Shadow Weave Spirit Shield health increase from +200 to +300. Also, spot radius reduced from 20 meters to 18 meters. Phantom Strike cast range reduced from 30 meters to 25 meters. Last up from shop, I believe, will be spirit items. Ammo Scavenger. Health increase from 50 to 60. +50 to +60. Extra Charge. Cooldown reduction increase from +8% to +10%. Spirit Strike debuff duration increase from 8 seconds to 13 seconds. Spirit Strike Spirit Shield also increased from 85 to 100. Extra Sprint. Health increase from +25 to +35. Withering Whip no longer grants +20% ammo. Withering Whip now grants +8% firing rate. Withering Whip fire rate slow reduced from 40% to 30%. Cooldown reduced from 40 seconds to 25 seconds. Quicksilver no longer has +10% reload time. Suppressor health regen reduced from 3 to 2.5 seconds. Suppressor's fire rate reduction reduced from 30% to 25%. -30% to -25%. Improved cooldown. Cooldown reduction increased from 15% to 16%. Duration extender. Health regen increased from 1.5 to 1.75. Slowing Hex projectile speed increased by 30%. Slowing Hex cooldown reduced from 27 seconds to 25 seconds. Dude, am I crazy for thinking like this entire thing is just like mostly buffs with like a small few set of abilities that were like kind of broken to like get small nerfs? That's how it feels, at least. Rapid recharge. Charge count reduced from +3 to +2. Rapid recharge. Faster time between charges increased from 40% to +55%. Rapid recharge cooldown from charged abilities increased from 20% to 25%. Knockdown delay reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. Knockdown stun reduced from 1.25 to 0.9 seconds. Knockdown cast range increased from 35 meters to 45 meters. Silence glyph duration reduced from 3.5 to 3 seconds. Torment pulse spirit damage scaling increased from 0.2 to 0.24. Surge of power imbued ability spirit power increased from +24 to +34. Sorry, +28 to +34. Superior duration non-imbued duration increased from +24 to +26. Improved spirit health regen increased from 2 to 3. Improved spirit health increase from +75 to +100. Improved reach spirit resist increased from +10 to +12. Curse duration reduced from 3.5 to 3.25. Okay, that's one thing I'm actually kind of happy about getting nerfed. That ability, that shit was so annoying. That basically just that's basically EMP in this game, where it just turns off all of your, like if you hit somebody with it, they can't hit any buttons. That thing sucks. Magic Carpet, you are now unslowable while on Magic Carpet. Magic Carpet cooldown reduced from 40 to 30 seconds. Magic Carpet barriers now last for 16 seconds. Echo Shard now grants +8 spirit power. Escalating exposure, base spirit reduction, increased from 12 to 15%. Refresher now grants +8% bullet resist. Boundless Spirit sprint reduced from 4 to 3, or +4 to +3. Boundless Spirit now grants +25% weapon damage. That is all just the shop. We are now just getting to hero adjustments. First up, the character I know the best so far, Abrams. Abrams' infernal resistance regeneration time increased from 16 to 18 seconds. This is a nerf. God damn it. Abrams now does pull-ups on the zipline once again. This is a buff. Yeah, okay. Abrams now a fixed shoulder charge, sometimes stunning enemies on stairs. Oh, dude, that's another nerf. Wait a minute. Abrams fixed seismic impact, sometimes not going in the area selected. Okay, so like nerf technically because it's a bug fix, but it's still a nerf. Animation change, but they're calling it a buff, obviously for the funsies, and fixing potentially a bug. So Abrams gets nerfed. Feels bad. Bebop. Gun range increased from 30 to 32 meters. Hook now only targets enemies when used by default. If you use with Alt Cast middle mouse, it will only be in ally mode. Okay. Bebop Hyper Beam can now be canceled by using parry. So yeah, the hook change is kind of nice, I'm assuming, because I've definitely been hooked by Bebop by mistake, and I've accidentally hooked people with Bebop by mistake as well. So good changes to Bebop, it looks like. Dynamo, Rejuvenating or Aurora can now be canceled using parry. Dynamo fixed kinetic pulse, not traveling properly when cast near corners. Gun damage reduced from 15 to 13. Thank God, Dynamo, dude. I'm so sick of playing against Dynamo. Dynamo singularity cast time increased from 0.1 to 0.2. Oh, that's almost nothing. I guess it's something, but it's nothing. Dynamo's singularity range reduced from 9 meters to 8 meters. So they bunch of nerfs to Dynamo. Dynamo's got his gun nerfed. He got his ult nerfed. And they fixed the way his kinetic pulse works. So good. Honestly, so far, I'm happy. Grey Talon charge shot collision side reduced by 8%. Charge shot base damage reduced from 105 to 100. Charge shot tier 2, or I'm guessing button 2, like F2, or whatever your second ability thing is. Or not F2, 2. Charge shot reduced from +70 to +65. Fire rate now scales with sprint. Can now use multiple air dashes while using rain of fire. Immobilizing trap root duration reduced from 2 to 1.5 seconds. Immobilizing trap now applies a 50% movement slow for 1 second after root. Okay, so instead of being Junkrat trapped for 2 seconds into a spot, you now are only 1.25 seconds, and then you basically get hindered, which is a decent change. Immobilizing trap tier 2 change from +1 root to +2 slow. Okay. I like these changes so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not some giga gamer in this game, but so far this feels right to me. Haze base bullet damage increased from 5.3 to 5.6. Sleep dagger impact damage happens immediately rather than a brief drowsy period. Sleep dagger drowsy period before sleep kicks in is increased from 0.25 to 0.35. Sleep dagger cooldown. Wait, does that mean like if you have the ability to like that button to like stop you from getting, I forget what it's called, but basically like turn off from getting like CC'd? Could you do that technically as you're drowsy? Is that possible? I've never tried that. Sleep dagger cooldown reduced from 27 seconds to 25 seconds. Smoke bomb radius reduced from 20 meters to 18 meters. Fixation tier T2 max stacks increased from +30 to +40. Haze bullet dance now provides +2 weapon damage in the base ability, similar to T1. So it seems like pretty much Haze buffs across the board. I didn't think Haze was bad, but a lot of buffs for Haze coming in. Infernus reduced vertical reach on his flame dash DPS. Flame dash speed is now affected by slows. Flame dash trail now gets wider with ability range bonus. That's cool. So far, nerf, buff. Flame dash, T1 duration. Oh, T1 means like what level it's at. I'm sorry. I said that earlier for the Grey Talon stuff, and now I understand what tier 1 means. It's like what level it's at for the thing. That's why I was trying not to do too many opinions on this stuff, because I'm not fully all the way in yet. Flame dash T1 duration reduced from 7 seconds to 6 seconds, another nerf. Infernus Catalyst damage amplification reduced from 30% to 25%. Catalyst T3 damage amplification increased from 10% to 15%. So that's his passive, I believe. So his passive by default is weaker, but as you level up the skill tree, you'll get it back later. That's the other character I've been playing. So both characters I've been playing got nerfed. Catalyst is tier 2. Catalyst tier 2 reduced from plus 20% lifesteal to 15. Wow, that's another nerf. So a couple of the nerfs for Infernus. So both the characters I've been playing got nerfed. That's unlucky. Ivy, bullet damage growth per boon reduced from 0.55 to 0.5. Ivy health grows per boon reduced from plus 41 to plus 35. Watcher's Covenant level 2 reduced from plus 3 meters per second to 2 meters per second. Airdrop no longer silences allies. Airdrop now causes allies to deal 50% less damage while being carried. Airdrop movement adjusted to be a little less frantic. Okay, so really quick about this one right here. I saw a clip back before the game was still under NDA where this team figured out how to do AC-130s, where they were flying with Ivy into the base, and I think it was either Haze or somebody else, and they were legitimately strafe running the entire spawn, and like when they were winning, and you couldn't spawn. Like you'd spawn in and you'd literally already be dead. Like they were literally AC-130 running the fire back and forth in front of it. I don't remember what the second character was, but I saw a clip and I was still new to the game and I went, that looks terrible. I don't want to play. Like, so they probably saw that. Remember, they've nerfed that specific thing, and then they probably were like, yeah, we gotta make sure this doesn't happen anymore. Ivy fixed airdrop bomb disappearing if you cancel your ultimate after dropping it, but before it lands. Airdrop self-cast time increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Airdrop max movement speed reduced from 20 to 18 seconds. I like that. During airdrop flight, you can pitch up and down with the dash/crouch buttons. Fixed getting stuck under bridges and buildings while airdrop flying. So those are your changes for Ivy. Calvin, bullet radius increase from 5 to 6. Base health grows per boon, increase from plus 45 to plus 50. Arctic Beam max slow increased from 60 to 80%. Whoa. Arctic Beam now affects soul orbs, secures/denies them. Arctic Beam level 3 range reduced from 15 meters to 13 meters. Fixed ice path jitter. And Frost Grenade level 2 heal increased from 135 to 145. So that's some pretty chunky Kelvin buffs. Kelvin was really strong towards like the end of the NDA period. I didn't really play. I got to watch games at that point more, and he looked busted. Lash gets 2 changes, improving firing arm position to be a bit more out of the way from the reticle. Be a bit more away from the reticle. And Grapple no longer gives a stamina charge on use. Whoa. I feel like that's a big nerf to Lash, because Lash is all about flying through the air and being super, super quick. So, yeah, again, not trying to give too many opinions here, but from what I've seen. Paradox, fixed paradoxical swap, still going through even if Paradox dives during it. Okay. Pocket, barrage amp reduced from 8% to 7%, 8% to 7% per stack, and also fixed barrage amp visual not showing properly. Okay. 7 static charge radius increase from 5 to 6 meters. Static charge level 2 radius increase from 7 to 8 meters. Storm Cloud Spirit Power scaling reduced from 1.1 to 0.8. Storm Cloud time to reach maximum radius reduced from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. And Storm Cloud now provides plus 20% bullet resistance in the base ability. Next up, Shiv. Shiv's bullet damage growth per boon reduced from 0.5 to 0.4. Gun fall off range reduced by 10%. Health growing per boon reduced from 41 to 35. Straight nerfs all the way across. Slice and Dice level 2 reduced from plus 100 to plus 85. Slice and Dice level 3 now considers creeps for only half value. Oh. Bloodletting deferred damage reduced from 35 to 30%. The targeting UI for Shiv's killing blow is now more clear when the target will be killed. So this is literally just Shiv nerfs across the board. Holy shit. Okay, so before the NDA was lifted, Shiv was literally dominating the game for like 2 days, and then he got nerfed, and then like a lot of people were like, yeah, he's still strong, but whatever. And I definitely sometimes just get annihilated by him, but I didn't think it was that bad. Holy shit, they nuked him, it looks like. Vindicta's stake duration reduced from 2.25 to 2 seconds. Crow familiar spirit power duration scaling reduced from 0.05 to 0.04. And fixed left click sometimes deselecting the ability when charges aren't ready. Next up, Viscous primary fire redesigned to make it more usable and have improved damage and scaling. Now has an alt fire that has limited range but deals AoE damage that cannot headshot. So it seems like he got like a mini rework already. And that's like one of the newer characters. Splatter Spirit scaling increased from 1.4 to 1.5. Splatter damage on second and third hit increased from 66 and 33% to 70% and 50%. Paddle Punch increased from 100% to 110% of the light melee. Paddle Punch level 2 is now plus 50 damage and plus 20% movement slow. Was negative 10 second cooldown. Paddle Punch level 3 is now a minus 12% cooldown. Was 80 damage and a 20% slow. Paddle Punch delay before punch increase from 0.25 to 0.35. Goo Ball Spirit scaling increase from 1.05 to 1.3. Goo Ball acceleration increased. Wow. Goo Ball base turn radius and turn radius after bouncing has been increased. Fixed a bug where Goo Ball would have the direction and trail particles stuck on. I might have to try them. Sounds fun. Warden base movement speed reduced from 6.5 to 6, and fire rate scaling with Spirit reduced from 0.375 fire rate per sprint to 0.3. So two nerfs to Warden, just straight up nerfs. Yamato power slash max damage time requirement reduced from 1.5 to 1.4. Power slash collision radius reduced by 8%. Crimson slash radius increased from 12 meters to 13 meters. Fixed being able to die during shadow transformation if hit by Grey Talon's Owl. Fixed some cases where Flying Strike could get into a stuck state. Fixed some cases where Crimson Slash would appear to be cast. It wasn't. Whew, that is a lot of damn patch notes. It seems like there's some stuff in game 2 that's not even shown here. I'm not going to be able to go in there and find that for you right now. But really cool that they just lifted the NDA on this last week, and it's like now getting more public traction, and there's so much interest in the game, and they're already changing some stuff like majorly, like the parts of the map. Viscus is like the way his gun feels is getting an alt fire. This is really cool. This is a dense, thick patch notes, and you know what? I like it. I appreciate it. I can't wait to play it. So looks good to me. Cool.